What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Burn the Wagon podcast, where we're here to burn the wagon of capitalism, patriarchy, and colonialism. No guest today. Just me solo mission on it. It's been a minute since I did a solo episode, honestly, since the very first episode. So I thought I'd just kind of check in and check in and tell you guys what's going on, what's happening. Give thanks to everybody that's supporting, and talk about a couple things that's just like going on in the world, or in just my world in general. Because at this point, it's become the Burn the Wagon has become much more than a podcast. Because at this point, I'm starting to work in schools. So I've worked this whole year up in Kashaya. It's on the Mendocino coast. It's a very small school with, I think this year we had a total of 6 kids. Amazing year. Unfortunately, the school is coming to a close. So they're going to have to figure out where they're going to go to next. But overall, the year was incredibly beautiful to be a part of. And when I was in Santa Cruz and decided to move home, that was the biggest thing for me, or the biggest reason moving home is because I wanted to do the work within my community. Because I feel like people were seeing me on the internet and weren't seeing me in actual community, weren't seeing me at dances, weren't seeing me at all these places. And I felt as if like I was encouraging people to reconnect, but I wasn't living on the res. I wasn't within my community, so it didn't feel right to be doing the work in Santa Cruz. So decided to move on down. But like I said, it's grown much further than a podcast. Definitely want to send a special thank you to cousin Elliot. He's been along since literally the beginning, since I threw out this idea of like, I think I'm gonna start a podcast, and he just started asking me questions, what it's about all these things, what's the name. So yeah, he's been in the part of it since the beginning, and he helped me with the naming process. So shout out to him. Shout out to just like everyone else that's just been supporting me along the way, because yeah, I set up these episodes right and I put them out, but it wouldn't be nothing if people weren't listening, if people weren't sharing. So that's huge for me, is the amount of love that I've felt and I've received since this, and the support. And it's not only like my family members, like organizations are reaching out and being like, "Hey, we want you to come do. We see your little short little episodes on Instagram and TikTok and all that. We want you to come through to our event and do that." So that's been like a huge blessing, is like to be able to be a part of that, and people want me to come to their event and amplify what they have going on, no matter what it is. If it's missing and murdered Indigenous people, if it's just an event, a fun event where people are just hanging out and doing their thing, or big time or whatever it may be. It's pretty cool. So yeah, thank you all for the support. It really means a lot. Because when I started this, like I did have goals. Like, I mean, I had visions of it being like, yeah, we want to grow this thing. We want to amplify voices. We want to like let people know like we're still here, right? But like I had no idea that it was gonna get to the point that it's gotten. And I didn't have any goals like, oh, I want this to happen in the first 5 years. I want this to first happen, or whatever. None of that stuff had I never didn't write anything like that down. So to be able to be at the point where I'm at, growing to this point, is beautiful. Like I said, it's more than a podcast now. That I'm working in schools. I'm doing MC. I'm emceeing events. And that's something I wanted to talk about too, is upcoming events, is because it's beautiful to be a part of these events. And something that we've been planning lately is hip hop shows. with the homie Isaac. I've had him on before. So yeah, it's just grown to something that I never really expected and never really realized it was going to get to that point so fast. So at times I do get a little bit overwhelmed with everything that's going on, and everybody that's hitting me up. And so yeah, and that's also why I haven't been able to, because like at a certain point I was doing an episode a week when I was in living Santa Cruz, and then when I moved home, it started getting less and less and less. And some of these spaces that I'm in, you know what I mean? It's heavy places, like, you know, talking about MMI stuff, just like relatives like passing away, a lot of like ceremonies that are just like, you know, you leave blessed, but there's also a lot of like heaviness that could be there too. So yeah, just a lot going on, and sometimes a little overwhelmed, sometimes just like, okay, this is where we're at, this is what we're doing. So I have to remember, and I'm trying to do a better job at this, as like on my way home from school, being at the school, I want to try to do a better job at like stopping either at the ocean, a beach, or just like the river, and taking my time, because that's something I don't do a lot of the time, is just like stop and say, you know, I'm gonna just chill here for a little bit. A lot of the times it's like point A to point B, and I'm trying to get there as fast as I can. So trying to do a better job at like sitting back and saying, you know what, like time is a construct. We get there when we get there, and not rush so much in my life. Cause yeah, I want to be able to like do things right, and I want to be able to do things in a good way. And when you rush, that doesn't happen all the time. So yeah, just the amount of support I've gotten. Thank you guys so much. It really, really means a lot. But one thing that I feel like I want to talk about, and I feel like I just haven't talked about it in a minute, and since I've like been so busy, like I feel like I haven't shared about it in a while. I just want to let everybody know it's still free Palestine, still fuck ICE, and happy Pride. And I want to send love to anybody out there that's living outside of the box of colonialism and challenging those narratives, challenging those gender roles, challenging those mindsets, because that's what I'm all about, is challenging the mindset that was put into our head. Because I'm 6 years sober. I got sober at 27, I believe. And this is I'm still in the beginning of my journey of decolonizing my mindset, getting rid of a lot of propaganda that was pushed into my brain, especially as a male. So yeah, I feel like it's very, very important to encourage those living outside of the box of colonialism that colonialism puts us in. And especially me growing up in a Christian household, that it was shoved down my throat for a majority of my life. Trying to live outside of that. And I've been like doing a deep dive on a lot of like unpacking Christianity and unpacking verses in the Bible, just because like I feel like a lot of American Christian people have lost the true concept of their religion, and a lot of the times it takes away from who they actually are. And I know that's by design, especially for us in Black and Indigenous people. Is by design to take us away from who we actually are, and in that spirituality, because they understand how powerful we can be when we are connected to ourselves, and when we are connected to our ancestors. So if you're feeling some type of way, if you're kind of on the edge of like man, I still believe in my Christianity and all these things, like I personally, for me, I believe in my ancestors. I believe that they're the reason I'm still here, and not a white God, not a white man on a cross. And I understand that like originally he wasn't white. That's just Americans' version of him. So yeah, I personally just like I don't know. I just dislike Christianity a lot. At least American Christianity, especially where it's gone now with like white supremacists really I mean, I guess they haven't taken over because like KKKs existed a while back and they all have like taken over Christianity. I just feel like a lot of mainstream white supremacists have taken it. And that's just how I feel. I could be like, I could be wrong. I'm not meeting a lot of Christian people. I'm not like conversating with a lot of Christian people. So that's just how I feel. And you see it with a lot of Christians like praising Donald Trump. And yeah, treating him as if he's Jesus. So yeah, it's just, and then they also say things like no false prophets, but then like this dude's a false prophet. I'm just very confused about Christianity. If anybody is down to come on and have a conversation about it, that'd be cool. Just because like, I don't know, just like let's I'm not trying to like bring a Christian on to have a conversation, but like if somebody is like studies the Bible and can come on and talk about facts and the history of it, I'm super down. Because I feel like I want to know at what point did Christianity just go fucking super far right, and I guess like probably a long time ago, but I don't know. I'm just it's just very very curious thing to me, especially living with my mom again, of like just watching her and like unpacking everything that like her brain thinks is like okay or Christianity tells her is the way of life. Yeah, it's just very interesting. And a lot of my family members are Christian, and seeing them go down that pathway over praising their ancestors or praying to their ancestors. They even will like go as far as thinking that's like that thought process is demonic, you know. Yeah, when I talk about the ancestors, when I talk about these things around certain Christian people, they get weird, they get off put by it. And I find that Christian people do a lot of thinking they're the superior religion, and they feel as if they are the only ones that can be connected to God. And again, this is how I feel. This is my experience. I don't know if anybody else has experienced that, but this is just how I feel. So yeah, I believe it's organized religion does a really good job at putting you in a box and not allowing you to think freely for yourself or be open to other forms of religion, because there's so many religions in this world. I don't know exactly how many, but like you can't possibly think just because somebody doesn't believe in the same God as you, they're going to hell forever. That type of shit just blows my mind. How that is like the thought process of a Christian person. But yeah, enough of Christianity. This is something that I've been just like unpacking a lot lately, just because like living with my mom, and just like taking her to dropping her off at church and just like seeing how Christian people talk about other people and other religions. It's just very interesting to me. A lot of the stuff they choose to talk about. But yeah, on to my next topic. I know recently it's like I don't know what it's midterms or whatever. I know there's like been voting going on lately, and I personally didn't vote in this go around, but I definitely do want to do a better job at understanding local elections, because we all know the phrase "think globally, act globally." So I think it is important to participate in those elections, but as far as like the bigger stuff, I don't know. I just feel as like we're cooked. We're done. Like this is a corporation. This ain't no country. You know what I mean? This is like this isn't a country that has our the people's best interest in mind, or even like, you know what I mean, at like heart or whatever. You know what I mean? I just feel like at this point, it's let's make as much money as we can for my like the upper class, the higher class people, these corporations. Let's make as much money as we can before we get ran out, or they're also might try, like President Trump might try to run for more terms because he really loves dictators. He's on the balls of all these dictators. He wants to be a dictator so bad. But I feel like yeah, I just feel like he just doesn't have it to be a dictator. Obviously, I don't want him to be. Fuck that. But you know what I mean? Like I just feel like the people don't respect him to a point enough to bow down to him like other places that he wishes he was. You know, because he loves Russia. He loves fucking all these different places that have dictators like North Korea. He'd be on that fool's nuts. I feel like. But yeah, I do want to do a better job, and shout out to Tyree because he used to always preach this. Care about your local elections because you know that's how you're gonna make the real changes in your communities, is voting on things that matter, bringing things to the committees that are making these decisions. You know that matters. So yeah, I think I know it's like I struggle with it because honestly, the first time I ever voted was I think I voted was a while back. So and yeah, it's hard for me to want to participate in things that I want burnt to the ground, right? But then again, they are working so fucking hard to take away our ability to vote as black and brown people that almost like it's like fuck, you might as well, we should participate, you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know, like if you have any like, I would definitely want to hear how people feel about it in the comments, you know what I mean? Because yeah, it's a tough situation because like I've always said like I want to vote in this fucking bullshit country's elections. You know what I mean? It's always never had my best interest at heart. It's never thought about me. It's always, I mean, not me specifically, but like me as like yeah, uh, me and the people that look like me is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I think what is that saying? Stuck between a rock and a hard place. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck do we do? I know what we do. We burn the shit down. But yeah, it's tough. If I definitely would want to hear how people feel in the comments because as black and brown people, I think it's important that we come together in this. And if we're gonna, you know what I mean? Like, let's not vote collectively, or let's vote collectively for the things that we want. So yeah, I think that's something that's been on my mind lately. Is should I vote? Should I not vote? Should I participate? Should I continue to say fuck you to the man and like not participate? But then they're straight like taking back laws like back to like Jim Crow era type shit. So we can't vote. And I know that's in the South, but like certain places, not in California where I'm at, but who knows? California is moving super red lately. We all know Gavin Newsom be on some bullshit. He speaks liberally, but like he be doing fucking hella right wing shit. Like he sweeps out whole unhoused communities and don't give a fuck. So California is moving, I believe, towards the red, more red than it is blue. But then again, red and blue, same fucking bird. Don't matter. They're all for the same shit. Yeah, that's how I feel about that So yeah, if you have some info how you feel about voting, drop it in the comments because I want to know. I want to know how people feel if we should or we shouldn't. Like how are people feeling? But I think that's about all I have today. I just wanted to do a check in because it's been a minute since I did an episode. It's been like almost 2 months now. And like I said, it's been a minute since I did a solo episode. Very first episode. So yeah, definitely follow us on all socials. We have Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. We trying to push the YouTube as much as possible and not the Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I mean, I don't know if how what Apple Podcasts is on, but I know Spotify is on some bullshit with running their ICE ads. Also, that's another conversation I wanted to like put out there too. Is like, do we have alternatives to Spotify? Because that's what people have said lately. Is like, can we get off Spotify? But then my question is, what's the alternative? And who owns these alternatives? Because I know people were saying Tidal, we got to move to Tidal, but then Jay-Z owns a big part of Tidal, and he's a billionaire, and whoever else billionaires are connected to it. And like I know another one is SoundCloud, but like I don't know if I really want to move over there because that is free. I just want people to be able to access the podcast for free and like easily. They can just type it in. It's not no like crazy website that like nobody's used to. So yeah, it's been hard with that too. Is like, do I keep my shit on Spotify? Do I take it off? You know what I mean? I've been again between a rock and a hard place with that one. Like, what do I do? Also, some upcoming events. We have a show July 12th in San Francisco with Superman and the homies Indigenous Cats. And then a couple other homies on the lineup too. We are going to have vendors. We are going to have traditional dancers. We are going to have, I think, some speakers. I'm not exactly sure on that yet. And it's going to be, the event is going to be, it's going to amplify the situation going on with missing and murdered Indigenous people. So yeah, I think some of like it's a free event to the community. So come through for free, get some medicine as far as music, get your medicine as far as dancing. Come support like small businesses and buying some of their art, buying some of their jewelry, and come see Superman. It's gonna be fucking super dope. It's gonna be amazing. And the Indigenous cats, they're super dope too. They're coming all the way up from LA area. And Superman, I can't remember exactly where he's coming from, but come show him some love. It's going to be super, super fun. And then what else I got going on? Also, if you're going to be in Carlsbad at the Harm Reduction Summit, tap in because I'm going to be emceeing that event. And I'm super stoked on it. Yeah, I think as far as events, that's about it. Also, you can follow on Patreon. I'm doing my best to put stuff on there, but it, like definitely don't always make it. The other socials kind of like are my top priority. But yeah, if you want to support in that way, I think I set the total at like $3 a month, and you're just help supporting me. You know what I mean? Like get to places, get to events or whatever it may be. And eventually, I will move on to like putting their stuff there first over other places. Let's see. I think that might be it. Again, thank you all for the support. This shit means like so much to me. Like when I go out and I see my merch in spaces, or I see people were like, "Oh, you doing interviews today?" So like it means a lot. Thank you all for the support. Also check the link in the bio. We got more merch. Yeah, thank you all for the support. It really means a lot. And peace and love, y'all.